Temu is just like all the talk. The whole thing is like they just ship you direct from China, anything you want. There's a lot of knockoffs, a lot of fakes, a lot of shitty quality, but insanely cheap prices. Makes no sense how they don't make any money. Yep. They have a lot of issues.
Better Business Bureau and consumer protection agencies are going after them because there's been customers who've complained that I got served an ad that said shoes are $2.49, and by the time I went to checkout, blah, 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 it ended up being more money or quality or whatever. Okay, cool. They're going to settle some lawsuits.
Yeah.
Temu is backed and created by Pinduoduo, which is a massive, massive Chinese company that is still extremely profitable. It's a $180 billion company that makes cash. They can write out checks for the next decade.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right. And they can also like solve some of these problems.
Yeah. And I think these are all, I think it's like an advertising issue Temu has. Probably like AI advertising. It's falsely advertising some products.
Yeah.
And that's really their biggest issue. So,
but also I remember like Fashion Nova used to get a lot of these, like a lot of complaints about like what it looks like on the site versus what you get.
Yeah.
But they blew up really, really big, made a lot of money, fixed enough of those problems that people don't really talk about it anymore.
Never.
And now they're just a great business.
Exactly. So I think that's what's going to happen here.
Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen, group chat.
Cash.
It's $1 trillion. Hot.
You know, big day today. I went golfing before the rain.
Yeah.
We got rain coming in again.
Yes.
I shot my career low.
Wow.
88.
Wow.
Yep. So all the real golfers out there, you're laughing at me. Fuck you guys. For me, big benchmark. And
What's
I've had
par 72?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had the same clubs since I started. And like they're not fitted. They're
golf
just
clubs.
Yep. And so I had to deal with myself that I literally made 2 years ago when I shot a 95. But it was kind of I call it a Trump 95.
Yeah.
Like I was kind of, taking a little drop here and there. And I said, okay, when I shoot under 90, I'll get new clubs. I thought it would be like in a couple months. 2 years later, today, I shot a legit, no funny business, no breakfast ball, no nothing. 88.
Where did you shoot it?
Sand Canyon. It's in Santa Clarita, maybe?
Okay, yeah.
So I'm getting new clubs.
PXG?
I'm also
That's the one. That's like the hot club, right?
Nah, they're not hot.
Is it
The hottest
why are they hot? Because I see the ads for them, or they're not hot.
I think people actually use them and say they're really good.
Yeah,
but they're kind of cheesy. They're just kind of cheesy.
Why?
They're just out of the commercials. People kind of make fun of the commercials. Okay. None of the best guys. It's not like Rory or Scotty Scheffler or any of them use PXG. They're just a little silly.
It's just not cool.
It's not quite cool.
Yeah.
And
we don't know if they're good clubs or not.
They're good clubs. Yeah. I've actually heard. I know people who are really good who use them who just don't care about the branding issue. Great clubs, but TaylorMade is the
hot one.
The hot one. So I'm getting some TaylorMade.
How much are golf clubs these days?
Well, $1,200. Well, sorry. $1,200 for the irons.
Irons.
I'm shooting a little high. You can get them for $9 or $8, but $1,200 for really nice irons. Putter, $200, $300. Driver, $500.
500?
Yeah.
So a 3-wood, a 5-wood. How many woods are you getting?
Well, yeah, one driver's 500. So probably 500, like 300.
That's a racket. Because, why does the wood cost more than the iron? That's just made up.
Has all the technology.
Yeah, that's what they're. So you're out, let's call it 2,500 for clubs?
Yeah. But the good news is.
And then you got to get a bag.
Right.
A hot new bag. How much is the bag?
I don't even know. 500, I think. Here's the cool thing. Now that I'm a golf influencer, TaylorMade just sent me their brand new marquee driver.
Oh no, it's for free?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's like $600.
Oh, so you heard.
So all I need is irons. I just need $1,200.
Well, TaylorMade.
I know, and they're TaylorMade too. I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna tell the little story about how I, shot my record score. But yeah, and then I don't know. I don't want to. I don't know if it's sensitive or not. But in the spring, I'm going to Pebble Beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've only been there for
Like a wedding or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Something like that.
It looks epic.
Yeah, a family member got another family member that for a Christmas present. Had nothing to do with me, but I'm part of the group.
Part of the group.
So I'm going.
You just have to, Pebble, you just have to like make a reservation, right?
I forget, but it's something like, I think you have to like stay in the hotel.
Okay.
I know there's a whole thing.
I know it's a public course.
It is, but there's a whole thing about it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I think you have to stay in the hotel that Pebble's connected to, or I don't know.
Okay.
And then there's one.
I know my in-laws have played it. So
I mean, look, I'll be honest. I'm not good enough to care. Like, I know it's going to be beautiful.
it's just like a box you check.
Yeah.
Did you go to whatever was happening this weekend? There was some golf
No.
tournament. I saw people in the office were going.
Yeah, that was Genesis at Riviera in the Palisades. But no,
Tiger didn't even play.
Tiger bailed out.
Yeah.
He got sick.
I mean, the real biggest sporting event of the weekend, everyone thought was All-Star Weekend, which I'll touch on it for a second.
Yeah.
It was really Zuck just standing.
Just awkwardly standing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest sports
Was
moment.
Zuck, you know
What
the
happened?
The biggest athletic maneuver was Zuck like attempting to grab like a shirt and sort of missing.
So was that pregame or postgame? What was that?
That was walking out to the cage.
Okay.
So they say, Alexander Volkanovski.
So he was part of the team.
Yeah.
Like Money May.
Like part of the pit crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Money May. Like part of the Money May.
He was,
Like
when
Lil
he would
Baby.
have like crazy celebrities come out.
Yeah.
He was part of.
Yeah.
And who is this guy?
He's a fighter. So him and Israel Adesanya,
Okay.
who they're both close to Zuck. They're part of the same sort of team. There's not really teams in boxing, but they're part of the same gym.
How do they not like coach him on what to do?
This is why I was saying when he was sitting in front of Congress, he seems like he has a new confidence because I think he's such a nerd. And when he's around these fucking warriors,
Yeah, he gets intimidated.
he gets intimidated. But then when he goes back to the nerds, he's like, I'll
Fucking
choke
kill
all
you.
of you out.
Smash
You don't know
your
what it's
row
like.
ass to your ass.
Yeah, you don't know what it's like in the gym.
Row ass.
Yeah, what's your PE ratio, you little bitches? But he, I think he just was trying to be involved. Here's the other thing. I don't know if you saw this or not. One of the other guys.
No, I only saw the meme.
Okay, so here's another highlight moment because I actually missed the meme moment. But the moment I saw it now, but the moment I saw was there's another fighter named Merab who won. And he, in the middle of his, I guess he knows Zuck a little bit from probably the same circles. In the middle of his fight, he had a hard fight. In the middle of his fight, he picked up his competitor, his opponent, walked him over to Zuckerberg and was joking and talking to Zuckerberg and then slammed him on the ground. And he saw Zuck and his wife like right in front of them and then was like beating the dude, like looking at Zuck and like choking him out like, oh, he's going to tap, like staring at Zuckerberg. So he probably just feels like the coolest guy,
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's really interesting. Like, typically, like, business people historically have, like, tacked on to NFL.
Yeah.
NBA. I think NBA was a very popular one.
Yep.
Especially for, like, tech nerds.
Yeah, like Ballmer and...
Yeah, because, like, Paul Allen used to own the Blazers.
Yeah.
It's like, for tech nerds, basketball feels like a safe place.
Yeah.
NFL is a little bit of a stretch, but
Right.
now it's so mainstream, whatever.
Yeah.
And then this guy said,
Went straight to the belly of the beast.
Gladiator.
Yeah. It's just funny to me how much like everyone, I mean, Zuck is not just a rich guy. He's one of the richest, most like on the cutting edge people in the world.
Yeah.
But like still around like warriors, he's just an
Intimidated.
awkward
Yeah.
nerd. The same way I'm sure that those guys around him at first, or like if they went into the Facebook like boardroom, they'd probably
yeah.
be
If you took them in front of the entire staff,
Yeah.
they're melting.
melting. And it's just funny how like no one really very few people have both. Like we know a lot of rich people that have gotten really rich and then they just needed to be famous.
Yeah.
Or we know a lot of famous people that aren't rich that really wish they were.
Yeah.
Or same thing, tough guys that aren't rich guys that aren't tough.
I think Rob toes the line really well.
Between which two?
Just like the successful people and the famous people.
Yeah.
Because he's famous for so long.
Yeah.
So I don't think he has anything to prove to those people. He's
Yeah.
made a lot of money outside of just being an actor.
Yeah.
So, he has the confidence to be in both rooms.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah.
I feel like guys like Tom Brady, The Rock.
Yep.
I feel like Martha Stewart.
And prison.
Oprah.
She's probably cool in a prison.
Yeah.
Cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, I feel like there's a handful of those types of people.
Right.
I mean, Donald Trump, to be fair.
The Rock, yeah. You're right on The Rock. Yeah, Donald Trump. Yeah, but it's so rare.
Yeah.
That it's just funny when you see.
I don't know why he wasn't relaxed. I'm just like, dude, you're Mark Zuckerberg. You could beat some ass now. By the way, was that like a big fight?
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Huge.
Did the guy win?
No.
He lost.
He got knocked out. Like really knocked out. And you could see Zuck in the background. Like,
was he not the favorite?
Yeah, he was.
Oh my God.
It's bad.
So that's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. And not only is it embarrassing, but the guy.
Is he part of like a big camp?
What do you mean? Like a big crew or like a long training camp?
Yeah, like, in terms of like, he's part of a cool crew that usually wins.
Yeah. They were dominant. It's really him and Israel Adesanya are the two like most known from that crew. And they were dominant for so long. And then Israel Adesanya lost recently. This is the crazy thing. Volkanovski got.
Who is Volkanovski?
That's this guy. Okay. Alexander Volkanovski. He, let me
Is
make
he
it.
all Russians?
He's Australian.
Okay.
To try to make it not boring, like he was so dominant, like, oh my God, he's unbeatable. He took a fight last minute, like 4 months ago that he shouldn't have taken.
I lost.
Didn't have enough training camp. Got kicked in the head and knocked out. But he went up a weight class. So everyone was like, okay, that's okay. But then at the press conference, he was like in tears talking about how he has mental health issues and that like if he's not training for a fight, he kind of goes crazy and he doesn't know what to do. And so he took this fight too fast, got knocked out. But then he took another fight, which a lot of people said probably too fast. Still, you just got knocked out and got knocked out again. So now it's like, I don't know. It's just like, I know football. I would say football is like, the closest, like really unforgiving.
Yeah.
Like you can get fucked up, get injured, you're done. But you just don't really have an opportunity. I know Tom Brady is the best, but like you don't have an opportunity to really have a run like that in fighting.
Just keep winning.
You just can't.
Mayweather.
You're right. But like, I guess I'm more talking like UFC then.
Yeah.
Like
the sport doesn't allow you the way that it operates,
yeah,
where you can just get flash kicked in the head and that's it. Career's over.
You just kind of change. Even Mayweather, I think the reason why Mayweather was such a phenomenon is because his defense was so good.
Yeah.
That he didn't get like knocked out and have to come back.
Yeah.
Just UFC, man. You go from being this like unbeatable human Superman warrior to like
crying
and like old and like just not, I don't know. I'm not saying this guy might not come back, but
it's pretty wild. Culturally, UFC has become, on par with the major sports.
Yeah.
And these guys make no money.
No, they don't.
How is nobody calling Dana White out on it?
They are. They all are.
Just
There's
Logan
a
Paul?
class action lawsuit.
Is there?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you're talking like, this is a global superstar sport now.
Yeah.
These guys are broke.
Yeah. The reason why is there's no competition and
yeah, but there's no competition for the NFL either. NBA.
No, right. And
it's just the right thing to do.
And also it's like the team's not the star. The guy's the star, but for a very short time.
Yeah.
And then you're out. Like
that's why you have to make so much more money. That's why I didn't appreciate boxing as a sport.
Yeah.
And then earlier in life, back then, Mike Tyson, these guys would make $50 million for one night.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, like their time is fleeting. Like they have what? Most people have 5-10 fights in their life they have to make their entire living off of.
Yeah.
Same with UFC, but these guys don't make money. So
it's just, if you look at it from the athlete's perspective, you're totally right. From Dana White's perspective, I get it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to...
Because there's an unlimited amount of people that would do it.
Well, here's the thing. In boxing, like how many events are truly going to sell, a lot of pay-per-views and sell out arenas in boxing this year? Probably 2.
Yeah.
Dana White does it every other month for the whole year. And the UFC makes stars. Like people are fans of the UFC.
Yeah.
And then once you're out and you're gone. And they got to build up the next star. And they're constantly breaking records. Like in California, he said they were it was the highest gate at Honda Center ever. The highest grossing MMA fight in California ever. Like they're constantly breaking all these crazy records. And the argument is the UFC is the star and the people last such a short period of time.
The people are disposable.
Yeah. And when you make it to the top, I mean, the top is, I don't know, $3 to $5 million a fight or something. So you could make 20 million bucks if you have but that's the top of the top of the top.
Yeah. That's real money. But you could make 20 million bucks in baseball and be fat no one ever know who you are.
Yeah.
Like you could be playing for the Angels, the same place where you're playing, doing a UFC fight across the street.
Yeah.
And that guy is making 20 million.
It's totally true. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that if I was a fighter, I wouldn't be really pissed. But as Dana White, as a business person, he has built the UFC into a...
Yeah.
I just think that's their only vulnerability.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think which opens up for competition.
Right. And so I'll give you an example.
How come there isn't the live of fighting?
There is. They just suck.
Yeah.
There's...
But is it backed by Saudis?
No.
I feel like the Saudis like UFC.
That's right. Yeah, they do. They have a really good... They had like a whole island during COVID. There's something called the PFL, which Jake Paul is somehow a part of.
Yeah.
But I'll give you an example. The biggest like heavyweight like champion, unbeatable champion, Francis Ngannou, quit the UFC in his prime, went to the PFL. He's the guy who fought Tyson Fury. Now, fighting Tyson Fury, that fight ended up getting a lot of press. I heard it sold no pay-per-views, but got a lot of press. He will now go on to be like he's going to fight Anthony Joshua. That'll be huge. But like the UFC didn't skip a beat. Their biggest star left.
Wow. And
it didn't like no dip in pay-per-view gate sales, whatever. The other thing is a football player, how many times are you, we'll even say on the football field a year? How many games?
16.
So I guess I won't count practices because that's similar to training camp. But like the champion fights no more than twice a year.
Yeah.
So as a employee or they're contractors, but for the UFC, you're only working twice a year.
Yeah.
And they have to fill every other thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I get it.
I'm not fighting for it. I do think it's a vulnerability. I think if they raised all of it by like 50% and could just kind of make it go away, it's unbeatable. But I see why they did it. Anyway, so the Zuck.
Yeah, Zuck's a meme. It's fine. It's great for him. It doesn't hurt him.
No, but God damn it. Like, it doesn't hurt him. It's probably better. Because if he would have been cool, like cool guy, no one would have even known he was there. It wouldn't have been on the internet.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I thought it was going to hurt him. I was like, nah, it's not bad. He's just awkward.
I also think everyone watching it.
To be fair, the awkward is kind of in.
Yeah.
Like most people are awkward now.
It's also better than like him sipping water like a robot a few years ago at Congress.
Yeah.
Was weird and scary. This is at least like, okay, he's a human and he's out doing weird shit.
Yeah.
I think everyone in the back of their head knows they would probably act a similar way around these fucking gladiators.
Yeah. I agree. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I wanted to quick couple more pop culture things.
Yeah.
One, Kanye dropped a new album.
Yeah. I listened to it today golfing for the first time.
So not bad for like he's got that song Carnival, which seems like a smash.
Yeah, there's a couple of hits.
He's like such an interesting social experiment because even listening to the lyrics, you know, they're the usual borderline.
You know what? Like, just one note I have.
Yeah.
Is this motherfucker a few years ago went on God mode and like wasn't cussing. Yeah. I even heard stories about if you were in the studio, you couldn't cuss in the studio.
Now, holy shit.
Yeah. And it just kind of feels like I mean, we knew it was a scam, but it's just like.
Yeah, but like if you looked at
I just don't like him. At this point, I'm just so over him that I'm going to find them negative.
Yeah. So I agree. And I think I was talking to someone about it today. I was like, he's way past his prime.
Yep.
He pissed so many people off in the last 2 years that he'll always have his core audience.
He's like the Alex Jones of rap.
Yeah. And by the way, Alex Jones is very popular.
100%.
And they'll always have an audience. They'll always find a way to make money.
Yep.
They'll always be relevant.
But to everyone else, he's just a little, even people that will passively listen to his song are like, yeah,
like,
but I don't want to get involved.
I'll be honest, like, I was a mega Kanye fan.
Me too.
And then I would say the last 2 years, song comes on Spotify.
Yeah.
I kind of hit skip purposely.
I mean, not to be cheeseball, but I was genuinely a little sad because I was golfing today. I wanted to hear the album, so I played it. And then it started, Spotify starts recommending you similar songs. And it started recommending me like Graduation. And I was like, God damn, it was so good. And it was just like such a, like in my prime rap listening, that was the soundtrack. And it was just like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to give him a pass for everything he did. So he'll still be a superstar. He'll still, people will fuck with him forever.
Yeah. He's Alex Jones.
But I think you mentioned it maybe a year or two ago. Like he's almost like he's mainstream, but he's kind of a fringe star.
Yep.
Like his persona is mainstream.
Yeah.
But his content is fringe.
I just feel like he'll never go away. Like we always talked about, like, could he ever go away? Could he ever be canceled? I don't think someone that big ever can.
Yeah.
I just think that his perception has officially changed to like, he's a kooky dude.
Yeah.
Like before it was like, oh, Kanye.
Yeah.
Sometimes he says George Bush doesn't care about black people.
At the end of his life was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, we revered. And at the end of his life, we were like, fuck. Between all the trials and then just him being a weirdo.
And like holding kids over balconies.
Yeah, we're just like, all right, whatever. It's Michael Jackson. He's a weirdo. And
Kanye just went kooky like much closer to his prime.
Yeah.
Like I think Michael Jackson kept it under wraps. You didn't have the same media. So he's at Neverland being a kook.
Yeah.
But no one knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, ultimately, like, it's interesting. And then Beyonce dropped a country song.
I love it. Country's in. I don't know so I'm not as in tune in fashion as I used to be, but I saw that Rude is very country, this line.
Everyone is.
Right. Beyonce.
I have a friend who has a brand that's like Americana country inspired.
Yeah.
Not like right wing or anything like that.
Yeah.
He is on fire.
Yeah. You know who else did it? Is Pharrell for Louis.
Yeah.
And Stagecoach is hotter than Coachella.
Yeah.
You're the one who said the whites were going to have a big year.
And then I find out, so Zach, our, resident cool person that we talk about all the time, Zach Bia.
Yeah.
He has an artist signed to him named Yeet.
Yep.
Who I've been listening to the music. He has a big Drake song.
Yeah.
No idea this kid is white.
Yeah.
White guy from Oregon.
Yeah.
And so on top of my white thing is just, and I think he has like the #1 album in the country right now.
Yeah, you're right, I think. It's just crazy that, did you listen to the Beyonce song?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I just think, we called it, I think I said it a year or two ago, like.
For country?
Right when Morgan Wallen started popping, it was it. It's like, there's a shift happening in culture that's white.
There's literally like one of the biggest songs, that's funny. One of the biggest songs, or not biggest maybe just newest, on the country Spotify is called Country's Cool Again.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
I just think everything swings back and forth.
Yeah. They need a like what Lil Nas X, what we thought he was going to be.
Yes.
Which is like if they had like a Yeet but country.
Yeah.
Like if Zach Bia could find a cool.
I think Beyonce, Post Malone, they're all going to drop country albums.
They will. But I need like a.
New star.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like kind of edgy. Like, ooh, that is country, I guess. But like.
Yeah. It's happening though. It's pretty fascinating, the shift in music.
Yeah.
Because like, besides Kanye's whatever few songs I've listened to, I haven't listened to a brand new rap song in forever.
No.
It's
rap
unlistenable.
Sucks. It's unlistenable, which makes me so sad. Because even,
Is there an album?
No.
I listen to Drake's whole album all the time.
Yeah. No, there's nothing. I just feel like it's a really good time for, I know like Kendrick and J. Cole and them they kind of slowed down. I feel like when everything got really.
I think they're so successful.
Yeah.
They're not in a rush to put music out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why put stuff out? Because why? Because other people are putting it out every week? We don't care.
Because I will say, like, Kanye went off the deep end. Drake, who I would say might be my favorite rapper, his stuff does just sound all too similar now.
He's past his prime.
Yeah. But I need, like, give me some J. Cole, some Kendrick.
Here's the problem. All the people you're mentioning, they're incredible artists, but they're old.
Yeah.
Music is a young person's game.
Well, give me a young country guy then.
Morgan Wallen. They got you. He's
I like
the
Morgan
superstar.
Wallen. They got me. But I want a cool.
You want like someone that dresses like Yeet, but plays country.
Yeah, or like wears the new Rude and Louis Vuitton collection on a horse, you know, from Mississippi.
Yeah.
But is just cool and like, you know, you run into him at Delilah with Zach Bia.
You could manufacture that.
You can. And I think it'd be the biggest thing ever. I think we're entering, I'm not saying that I'm a fan of any parts of this or all parts of it, but I think we're going into like country's hot, Trump is president, fucking everything is deep state, you know, conspiracy. I think your white prediction might go a little overboard.
Watch when the decay of the country is going on, my clip gets used.
Right. And they're gonna be like, he did this to us.
I don't know if I ever talked about this in podcast. It's pretty far beyond, so I'll mention it. So Tucker Carlson at Fox News did a documentary on the fall of Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. How long ago?
2 years ago.
Okay.
This is after the protest, riots, all that stuff.
Yep.
And the Fox News had, or maybe still has, a streaming service.
Yep.
And the intro to the documentary that was on Fox News' streaming service was Gascon on this podcast talking to me.
No.
And I'm on it. As
damn, you might have remember how you guys were trying to convince me to go Trump in like 2016? I think like now white guys for Trump is like old news. Like there's no lane there for me.
Yeah.
For you, there might be.
It might be an easy layup for me to like massive popularity.
I think it might. I think when Tucker Carlson, I feel like Tucker Carlson's just going to be accepted as like the biggest media guy.
Yeah.
Trump's going to be president. Morgan Wallen is king.
Yeah.
And everyone's wearing cowboy boots. And we're just like, what the fuck happened? And it's just like down with DEI or DIE, you know? And it's like,
that's the poster.
Yeah, like fuck Disney. You know, everyone's just saying it.
The problem is every time you go too extreme one way, it goes back the other way.
It does. But I will be honest, I kind of felt, maybe this is just my world and my weird Twitter feed, but like, I felt like my worry was that it would go back the other way in kind of like a dangerous, hateful way. But it doesn't seem, it just seems like a lot of.
No, I don't think it doesn't feel like that at all.
It seems like a lot of like, wait a minute.
4 years ago, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Even for myself, like when Trump got elected, I did like fear that it was going to be this like resentful,
me too,
hateful society. It's no more or no less than it's ever been.
No, and I would argue that, I mean, once again, I'm just trying to be objective here. Like the most hateful conversations or things I hear are really from people on the left, you know, that are like, feel like they're the victim of, you know, a lack of opportunity or whatever that, and it's usually white people. Yeah. Right. But they're just so angry. Yeah. They're like, we got to tear it down. Fuck it. It sounds like the Trump voter in 2015. Yeah. They're like, oh, just blow it all up. Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird time. I can't really, I just sense that, you know how Chamath had that soundbite that was like, we didn't like the messenger, so we killed the message. Yeah. But a lot of his policies were actually good.
I mean, Jamie Dimon was at Davos saying, he's like, I didn't vote for the guy. I won't vote for him again.
Yeah.
But he was right on immigration,
Yeah.
right on China, like right on a lot of things that like most Americans now are pretty aligned with.
Yeah.
But at that time, sounded crazy.
That feels to me like the popular sentiment.
Yeah, I agree.
Like this kind of like, I probably won't vote for him.
Yeah.
And I wish it was someone else.
Yeah.
But like,
I agree with the things he's saying.
yeah.
The problem with Donald Trump is if you actually objectively, let's say you thought Donald Trump was the right person for president.
Yeah.
The problem is that he's so self-serving, he only gives a shit about himself.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't care anything about the country, even though he could be saying the exact things that are the right things for the country. At the end of the day, he cares mostly about himself.
Here's a thought I had this weekend. And keep in mind, listeners or anyone who's fucking coming in from TikTok, I'm not going to be voting for Donald Trump. And I wish he was not looking like going to be our president. I really do.
Yeah.
But I had this thought over the weekend that's like, when you look at like, these motherfuckers called a bill. First of all, they did the Inflation Reduction Act. That was nothing about that.
Yeah.
Now they have the border bill, which is all Ukraine and Israel funding. And I just wonder if both sides are truly in. You saw all the Republicans that voted for the border bill or are supportive of it. And I just feel like they're all in fucking cahoots. I don't feel like they're actually as divided as what we think they are.
No, that's a show.
And so do you need someone as psycho as Donald Trump, who's so self-serving and so only cares about what he's going to do, blind to the side
realities
effects, to actually like pull us out of Ukraine?
Yeah.
Because any Democrat or Republican is way too beholden to the powers that be.
He might just walk in the office and be like, all right, everyone get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you can't do that. And he's like, I'm Trump.
I can do whatever I want.
Let's make America great again.
Yeah.
And like, no one's that psycho.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
Yeah, that's an interesting take.
Because obviously both sides are truly for like these wars, and there's a lot more consensus.
Yeah, I agree. So with that being said, it sounds like you bought a pair of the new Trump sneakers.
If I had a connection for a few $100, I mean, I'd get them. You know what's funny is one time, I'll tell this story. One time I went to Trump National Golf Course, which once again, for the listener, a lot of people go to.
Everyone goes.
Everyone goes.
Yes.
It's not a fucking Trump thing. But they had MAGA hats like in the gift shop.
Yeah.
And I wanted so badly to buy a MAGA hat just to have it. Like when I was a grandpa one day, to be like, this thing used to make people want to kill each other.
Yes.
But I couldn't buy it. Like I felt like
you could Amazon it.
Right. I felt like I don't even want it on my on my credit history. I literally was like, no one's even looking. And it felt like when I was a kid buying condoms or something. I was like, I can't fucking do it. I couldn't even.
What's interesting is we had some friends staying at the Trump in Vegas over the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And our friends sent us a video of the store.
Yeah.
In there. It's insane.
Yeah.
The amount of merch, memorabilia.
I just love that this guy went to SneakerCon or whatever it's called.
He went to SneakerCon Philly. He dropped a shoe. Mega, like all of these like pretty kind of iconic, sneakerhead figures are in a picture with him while he drops this gold pair looking like Jordan 1s.
I might buy a pair and wear them to Stagecoach and just say, fuck it, I'm in.
What's funny is Brandon Cox, our friend?
Yeah.
He tweeted out, man, those are the January 6s.
Yeah, that's sick. That's sick. The J6s.
J6s. And by the way, it worked. Like
the buzz, you mean?
The buzz.
Yeah.
It was insane. And what I think that was so fascinating that's happening with Trump, which definitely did not happen his last election run, he's so welcomed in popular culture.
Yeah. It's really strange.
Mainstream popular culture. Like,
I mean, imagine if he went to SneakerCon in 2016. Are you kidding?
You're talking about I think Ben Kicks is in the picture with him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool now.
Yeah, everybody's in, these crazy sneakerheads are all in the pic with him.
Yeah. It's just things are changing in a way that is hard for me to even totally quantify what it is.
Yeah. And
the fact that Trump won in 2016 with me feeling like in my bubble in LA, blah, 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 he had no shot.
Yeah, everyone's like
who's a Trump voter? Yeah. Now it's like you have to keep in mind, like, he goes to these UFC things and like, Shane Gillis and Theo Vaughn and obviously the Full Send kids and all these people that I see what they post, think it's the coolest thing ever and talk about it and talk about getting pictures with them. And Sean Strickland, the last MMA champion, just posted a picture with him.
I think, he's gotten a lot of momentum with youth.
Yeah. It's a wild time. I feel like there's a lot of people, although I did feel this way about the red wave time that failed the midterms.
But the problem is that's not Trump.
Right.
That's the candidate in whatever city and state and region.
Yeah.
Very different. This is the guy.
Yeah.
He is the wave.
I mean, even Jon Stewart, you saw his piece?
No.
So people were tripping out about it, which I think it's another epitome of why it's so dumb. But he just essentially, he's back on The Daily Show leading up to the election. And he had like this whole monologue about like, what the fuck is going on? Like on both sides, like Biden, like he says, like, you guys keep saying that he's sharper than ever. He's running meetings. He's whatever. And then he goes, did anybody film that?
Yeah.
Because all we've seen is him fucking with all these gaffes. And he's like, and then the other guy, he's like, they're the two breaking the record for the two oldest presidential candidates in history. The record that they're beating is their own from 4 years ago. Yeah. And this is just fucking crazy. Yeah. But people are like freaking out at him that he even dared to say something bad about Biden.
I mean, you have to.
It's just, what are we doing, man? Stop telling us he's sharper than ever.
Yeah, that's a joke.
Just literally like, stop. Just stop. Like, stop pretending. At least be like, hey, he's not great, but we got it covered and he's better than that guy. I'd be like, maybe.
That might be the pitch now. We're not that good, but we're better than that guy.
Literally. I can't imagine. Like, you knew that you got by barely in 2020. Why have you had 4 years to find someone else and you haven't?
Yeah.
Well, how?
That's just ego, because he won't walk away probably.
Do you think it's him?
I think it's him.
I mean, anybody, man. This guy, Dean Phillips. Like I said, I'm not a Gavin Newsom fan, but I think he has a way better shot.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a fan of Democrat policies, why don't you go with that guy?
I think Sleepy is like...
Sleepy won't leave. He's sleepwalking. Yeah. All right. Well, it's going to be I said it a million times. I'll keep saying it. Amazing. It's going to be an amazing run till November for us of content. This guy's catching wild judgments left and right. He just got 340 million or something. 350 million. Got 80 million from the other thing.
He doesn't give a fuck.
And he does not. And he's on the steps of the courtroom saying, corrupt judge, corrupt. He's like Tupac.
And by the way, at SneakerCon, when he came out and did his press thing, he came out to Carnival.
He did? Yes. Talk about a carnival. Circus. Look, once again, I wish we weren't having to deal with it, but when this is all said and done, the study of Donald Trump will be, they should teach that in, I guess not Harvard, but somewhere. It's just like, how,
teaching it there.
Right. How are you the most Teflon guy? He doesn't give a fuck.
He defies everything what people believe in.
All of it. All the rules.
That's and to be fair, because of that, and a lot of other things happening in society outside of just Trump, like, it's hard for a regular person to accept anything. Why? Yeah. Yeah. Who cares?
I agree. You're pretty tuned in and know this stuff about your friends. Like, what are you, do you know a lot of Biden voters?
I don't actually.
Do you know any people that turn?
I know Biden voters because they are active politically and they're lifelong Democrats and they'll always vote for Biden, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then I know a lot of people that are not active politically at all that voted for Biden.
Yeah.
Cannot vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Really don't want to vote for Trump, but if they had to vote right this second, they'll vote for Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing, this is historically what happens with, take my age group. My age group, children.
Yeah.
You become inherently more conservative.
Right.
Because to be fair, when you're married with kids, you're selfish.
Right.
That's
right. The thought of like a home invasion, Yeah,
I
way bigger.
view everything through the lens of my children.
Yeah.
If I don't feel like it's the best situation for them, then I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're younger or older, you have a larger ability to think freely because you're not worried about your kids.
Yeah.
But I think that's a big difference. So I don't think my cohort of friends being more conservative than they were 4 years ago is surprising.
Right. But 10 years ago, there would be no thought.
No, they would all be liberal.
Right.
100%.
There'd be no thought.
Crime and, everyone jokes about the border crisis, but it's real. It's a problem. I've gotten DMs from Kathy's telling me, I live in Chicago. You will not believe I moved into this community fucking 3 years ago and my entire neighborhood is migrants.
I just don't get now, once again, I really want to be careful not to trust really much, but these videos of all these Chinese people and stuff.
Yeah.
What? I don't know. It just seems so crazy.
It's happening. I don't think I think people 20 years ago, I would believe media and I would believe every politician, both sides.
Yeah.
I'm not that person anymore.
Yeah.
I need to know. I will look for myself and I will come to my own conclusion.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm going to be swayed by a Twitter account. I'm not going to be swayed by a politician.
Yeah.
But at least I can look at the information. Like Ukraine, was it the right thing to support them when it happened? I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
I don't know all the details. When I see potentially Zelensky has a Palm Beach house, I'm not down to support him anymore.
Did you see? I just saw a tweet that said it is very well known in somewhere in Spain and in Miami even that you can feel the Ukraine money.
Yeah, for sure.
There's just these random Ukraine side pieces that have $10 million houses. And
yes. Everyone I know that's in those circles has told me that.
Right. So what do you trust on the border then?
I trust people that have gone there.
Yeah.
And then you know who I trust the most? People that live in communities that are impacted by it.
Yeah.
And I think that that citizen journalism that happens on social media.
Yeah.
When people tell you, I have three, 4 people in the DM when we talked about it the first time, tell me yo, my community is filled with it.
The thing I have a hard time with is there are just border control numbers that are 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 1.5 million, 2.5 million, literally in 2021.
Yeah.
And no one's disputing them. No one's saying those are fake. So there's just data.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It really feels like if you were trying to damage the country. And when you see, if you really think about what we've just gotten used to in LA, the level of crime is nuts. I think about it now. I thought about it today. When I pull up to this building, because there's a gate and you got to buzz your card and then the gate opens, which takes some time.
You're scared in that.
I'm looking around.
Yeah. Every weekend, that 10 seconds for that gate to open up, I'm fuck.
And I never would have thought like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense. And we're just used to it now.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to talk about some news?
We've been talking about news, but here's a big story.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Just general news.
I think the first one is there was a headline that all the Mounjaro, the Wegovys, the Ozempics is now infiltrating the youth of America.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Is it though?
It's just that you know what I think it is I think that when everyone started getting fat and like on their phones and eating nonstop fast food, I think there's always a hope that like we'll get back on track. And even though this is kind of back on track, it's like, no, we're just going to do this. We're not going to, like, fitness isn't going to become cool.
Yeah.
You know, like actual solutions aren't going to become cool. It's just someone's going to invent a silver bullet that's going to have other problems. I mean, I can only imagine. I have no idea. But can you imagine what an 80-year-old would look like that had been taking Wegovy since they were 16? Like, what, you just have no bones?
They've started inventing the drug that gives you mass.
Right.
So
Bone mass.
Bone mass.
Right.
The same people are coming out with the drugs to solve that problem. Here's what I think.
Right.
The headline, when you read it, you're like, fuck, man, it sucks that youth people. Why are young people obese?
Food,
Right?
yeah. Sedentary lifestyle and fast food.
Fast food, right? That is the responsibility of parents.
Right.
The responsibility of...
But the parents are fat.
Parents are fat. If you're...
Now it's genetic.
Okay, so it's...
That's what I'm saying. That's what the excuse is.
Okay,
we're fat.
Okay, so it's...
We're a fat fam.
Yeah, we're just big boned.
Fat fam.
Yeah. So you have that going for you. You have people, you know, my mom and dad are fat. I'm going to be fat.
Yeah.
Then you have... I truly believe the food in America, the way that we are fed compared to the rest of the world is extremely different. I think that's no secret anymore.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So that's going to be a pretty tough thing to fix.
Yeah.
The quality of food is not getting fixed anytime soon. So then you go to like, okay, it's access to like healthier food. I don't think and you've said this before, if you gave healthier food options to people in suburbia America who are obese, they're going to pick that option.
You said you don't think.
Yeah, you said that.
No, yeah.
Right?
Well, I just want to be clear that we're saying the same thing. If there were options in suburbia America next to McDonald's, they're still picking McDonald's.
Yes.
Yes, agreed.
So
there are options. I mean, just for the record, like there are grocery stores with fruit and vegetables in every town.
Yeah. So I know we like to blame the food industrial complex on everything.
Yeah.
Some of it has to be put on the citizens.
Right.
Would you say half the responsibility bears on the people? And half bears the responsibility on the quality of food that's available to the people around?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you see the world, but yes, I agree with you. I just think people are so much easier, like they just follow. You know, it's like sometimes you got to make people wear seatbelts.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to like give tickets for texting and driving.
Yeah.
Like you just.
To police it.
Yeah, like you can't slowly poison the water and be like, well, they make bottled water.
Yeah.
Like it's cheaper, it's faster, it's like every temptation. But I agree with you. I'm a big fan of personal responsibility. So I do think it's 50-50, but I just think like it just sucks that it's not. It sucks that we don't make it easier and easier to be healthier and smarter. And that is actually what's best for the country. It's
absolutely what's best for society.
Yeah.
But there's like a handful of companies that make money.
Right.
Like, you know, if you're like one of these like altruistic Peter Thiels or Sam Altmans or whatever, you're worth $1 gazillion. Why don't you change the narrative in the country about all of these things like food and education? And like, I know Peter Thiel has done it with education, with Thiel fellowships, but it just seems like such an elite thing. Yeah. Like average person will never get to be a part of the Thiel fellowship.
Yeah.
And
I think it's so ingrained in our culture.
You can't change it. We're fucked.
I think we're fucked. I don't think, I mean, I think
20% of America's youth is considered obese. And I actually thought
20?
that number was low.
Yeah, that's really low.
Yeah.
Because what's normal population? Isn't it 80?
No, it's over 50.
Or 60?
Yeah.
Can you look that up? What percentage of the U.S. population is considered obese? Because
like You know, you walk out of drive by a high school on like a Friday afternoon. That number looks higher than 20%.
That's true.
According to 2023, it says 41.9% of adults have obesity.
Let's check overweight. I'm just
Obesity,
curious.
I guarantee you they moved the number.
Right. Why not?
Yeah.
Nearly 1 in 3 adults are overweight. More men are overweight than women.
That doesn't make sense.
But 1 in 3 more
adults are
obese.
overweight and 40%
Yeah, whatever.
are obese.
But either way, let's just say it's half.
Yeah.
But 20% of kids. Yeah. But also I feel like kids are moving around a little more.
I think the problem with kids, the challenging part is if you have obesity that's rising in youth, you have a sedentary lifestyle because they're on their phone, solitary lifestyle. There's an article in Wall Street Journal about why people are so lonely.
I think teen suicide's way up.
Suicides are way up. So you have like all these trends that basically say, okay, let's say this, GLP drugs infiltrate youth. They get healthy.
Yeah.
Does that get them to get off the video games and be out because now they have confidence? A lot of people end up playing video games and having that sedentary lifestyle because kids are cruel if you're overweight.
Right. But I do think, once again, like that's the rose-colored glasses view.
Yeah.
I think the actual response is, oh, I can eat Cheetos, play video games, and be skinny?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat more Cheetos. And like it doesn't look, maybe there's a lot of other people that have a different experience, but I know a couple of people who have used those things and their thought was, I'm going to use it for a minute, get a kickstart, and then I'm going to get off of it. And it's really hard to keep that weight off.
Yeah, it's really, of course.
Because it feels like you changed habits, but you really didn't. And it's hard. It's just, I don't know. But here's the good news. Here's how I look at it. And this is what I would encourage our listeners to look at it like, is there has never been another time in history where if you are willing to take personal responsibility and make some hard choices and build some tougher habits, that you can stand out from the pack.
Oh my God.
Because you can, whether it's with work, the persistence, the showing up,
the health,
you can really be like far and above the average person with relatively, what would have been in the old days, low effort.
Yeah.
And all the food's available. Like, it's not that hard I've dramatically changed. No, I'm still not the healthiest person in the world, but I've dramatically changed my eating habits, and it's really not that hard.
Yeah. It's funny because my niece just got her driver license, and she's 16 years old. And my cousin sent me a picture of when I was holding her when she was born, 16 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I looked horrible.
Really?
Horrible.
16
years ago was 2000, what was it?
8?
Yeah. So right around when I met you. I probably met you in 08.
Yeah.
And I looked at a picture of myself.
Did you just drinking a lot and eating shitty?
I was drinking a lot, but like I definitely ate very, very poorly.
Yeah.
And that same weekend I was at dinner and I met a friend that I hadn't seen in like literally 7-8 years. And he goes, "Man, you look a lot better than you did 10 years ago."
That's funny.
I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, here's a picture of us." He found a picture. I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I do look a lot better."
That's funny.
And I think it's 100% diet.
Yeah.
100%.
That's the main thing, man. It's the main thing.
Yeah.
Because even like the fucked up thing is working out more just gives you a bigger appetite.
Yeah.
Which if you have shitty eating habits, you just eat more shitty stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like, I saw a post the other day. Once again, who knows? It's social media, but like the like most highly recommended baby formula is filled with like seed oils and things.
Yeah.
Which is like you're poisoning your baby.
Yeah.
With the most recommended. You're starting early. It's just, but yeah, look, I don't think this is how I view the world. You don't have to, people, but like, I don't think we can change that. I think it's on a trajectory that is impossible to stop. That's the way it's going to go. And the good news is it's easier than ever to stand out from the pack.
on everything.
On everything.
Even we were talking about, I don't know, a few weeks ago about friends of ours who are in dating apps and the guys that they're meeting. These guys are morons.
Right.
Because they're just so socially inept.
And everyone's fucking like living at home and yeah.
Yeah, they just can't even have a conversation. Like if you're like specifically if you're a guy, you eat moderately healthy.
Right.
You're semi-social.
Yeah.
You have a half decent income. You don't have to be rich.
Like
you have a steady income.
Even kind of a hobby that's not video games.
That's not video games.
Yep.
You were fucking
Pick of the litter.
nonstop.
Yeah. Pick of the fucking litter.
You were literally fucking George Clooney.
Yeah. I can only imagine. I want to hear what the like.
I mean, if you're, it seems pretty easy to me given society today.
Plus, I just think there's this narrative, like I keep saying on the pod, that's like so accepted that like times are worse than ever. You know, I'll never own a home.
Yeah.
I'll never. And it's like, there's a lot of people making a lot of money right now.
Yeah.
Like it's available. It's not, I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's like everyone.
It's extraordinary efforts.
Right. But like it is there.
Yeah.
It is the fact that the S&P was up 20% last year blows my fucking mind.
23, I think.
Right. When it was like the whole narrative was like inflation and you can't buy eggs and got to move back in with mom.
Yeah, but if you had $1,000 in there, you would make 230.
Right. Yeah. It's an interesting time, but that's, I think you're right. We go with Wegovy. So now like you're going to literally in 2 years, 1 year, you're going to hear of like, you know, a 10-year-old on Wegovy. And then there's going to be a new problem, which is like, bone density. And then there's going to be a bone density drug.
And there's AI. I think we're going to live in this like society that we watched in movies in the future where people just like roamed around. They were healthy.
Yeah.
They kind of were happy.
Yeah.
And they did nothing all day. And that might be the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the meanwhile, you have to pay $28.60 for a pizza in New York City.
Hey, they'll keep the weight down.
So New York City, not shocking, has the nation's most expensive pizza. I couldn't believe this. So a large cheese. I couldn't believe. The only thing I couldn't believe is that like this price for pizza has been normalized because in LA, in the pizza spot across from my house, a large cheese pizza is $30.
Yeah.
A large.
Okay.
We get our kids a small, which is 10.
Okay.
A medium's like 20, a large is like 30.
Okay.
A large is huge. Feed 5-6 people.
And what was the price you said? That was for a slice?
No, this is a large cheese pizza.
In New York.
New York City.
Is how much?
$28.60 on average.
Got it.
Cheapest pizza in the country is Richmond, Virginia at $14.75.
And obviously we're not talking about Little Caesars here.
No. And the average price of a large cheese pizza in the United States is $19.34. So they've basically they crunched these pizza numbers from the country's 50 largest metro areas. Measuring factors include how many pizzerias there are per 100,000 restaurants. Pretty amazing.
What do you think that is? Like, is that just, what is that?
Which part?
Why did we normalize? Like you said, we normalize
The cost of pizza.
Mm-hmm.
I think post-COVID, the cost of labor, food ingredients went up so much that restaurants basically had to increase prices. So I real life this evening, we're gonna deciding to go out to eat, order food, pick up food, whatever it was.
Yeah.
So my wife wanted something from like I forgot, like some like steakhouse, and I was like, I'm not spending $150 on takeout or $200 on takeout.
Yeah.
And then, so I was like, what else you got?
Yeah.
So we landed on Chin Chins.
Yep.
Which is, if you live in LA, it's like a casual Chinese eatery. Not cheap,
Not cheap, but not super high end.
Not high end by any chance, but just not cheap.
Yep.
But we ended up getting enough food for basically all 4 of us. Only 3 of us ate, plus enough food for 2 more days left over for $98.
Yeah, that's really good.
Which 2 years ago I would have thought was insanely expensive.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, okay.
Did you order it though on the app?
I picked it up.
Yeah.
Because they're quite slow on delivery. So, and it's close to the house.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, like food inflation, I think, is so real at restaurants.
Yeah.
And I think people, I'm curious to see, because like Toast actually had really good earnings, which is the POS system for restaurants. But I didn't see the volume at these restaurants. I obviously go to restaurants, but if I go out to eat, I'm going to pretty popular, basically H-food places. And they're always all very busy.
Yeah.
But like, is every like mid-tier restaurant busy?
Yeah.
And have you gone to a restaurant recently that was not busy?
No, not at all. But I'm trying to picture, like, is the Cheesecake Factory in Columbus, Ohio slammed? Probably yes, right?
Why not?
I mean, what would you say? Outback Steakhouse? Where would you look at as like a normal read on restaurant? The Outback Steakhouse in Columbus, Ohio?
Outback, Olive Garden,
Pretty packed.
Buffalo Wild Wing. Because by the way, I go to those places when I'm traveling.
Yeah.
They're not cheap.
Right. I mean, people are complaining about McDonald's prices.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Look, maybe it is tough, but I get that's why fast food is such an appetizing option.
Yeah.
Because you drive through, you don't leave your car.
Yeah, but like
$5.
eating out in general is not good for you.
Right.
Right? Like if you truly wanted to be healthy, you can eat the same exact dish you eat out, but if you make it at home, it's way better for you.
Yeah, it is.
If you just want to eat pasta and burgers, but you ate pasta and burgers at home, you'd probably lose 5 pounds.
Yeah, it's so true. I made 2 cheeseburgers at home for lunch today. It was great. Yeah. It also is better. Like, I don't know. Like
I enjoy eating at home from a taste standpoint.
Yeah.
Because I make it exactly how I want it.
Yeah. It really, and it's just like literally brand new, fresh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's an interesting time for, like sort of what's expensive, what's not. Do you get fat and take Wegovy? I mean, you got a lot of options. Who does have a lot of options, or maybe they do, is Temu. I mean, Temu is just like all the talk. They obviously like owned, it's a Super Bowl presented to you by Temu. They, their whole slogan is shop like a billionaire.
Yep.
And if anyone doesn't know, the whole thing is like they just ship you direct from China, anything you want. There's a lot of knockoffs, a lot of fakes, a lot of shitty quality, but insanely cheap prices. Makes no sense how they don't make any money.
Yep.
And now they're getting a lot of, they have a lot of issues. I mean, it's kind of like,
basically
this has to catch up to them, and it looks like in some way it might be.
So the Better Business Bureau and consumer protection agencies are going after them because there's been customers who've complained that, I got served an ad that said shoes are $2.49, and by the time I went to checkout, blah, 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 it ended up being more money or the quality or whatever. I don't think they got like, okay, cool, they're going to settle some lawsuits.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, Temu is backed and created by Pinduoduo, which is a massive, massive Chinese company that is still extremely profitable. It's a $180 billion company that makes cash. They can write out checks for the next decade.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right. And they can also like solve some of these problems.
Yeah. And I think these are all, I think it's like an advertising issue Temu has.
Yeah.
Where they just might be, it's probably like AI advertising. It's falsely advertising some products.
Yeah.
And that's really their biggest issue. So,
but also I remember like Fashion Nova used to get a lot of these, like a lot of complaints about like what it looks like on the site versus what you get.
Yeah.
But they blew up really, really big, made a lot of money, fixed enough of those problems that people don't really talk about it anymore.
Never.
And now they're just a great business.
Exactly. So I think that's what's going to happen here. What's funny is I actually kind of compare it to like what's happening to Zyn. So Zyn in the last year and a half.
I love this.
Is a nicotine pouch. It's like a nicotine gum. What is it? A pouch?
It's a pouch. It's a pouch that you put in your lip.
Okay. So then when you sucked out all the flavor, you
suck it all out and they spit it out. Yeah. But it's like, to me, when we're talking about like Trump and Full Send
and Zyn.
Zyn is in that conversation.
Yes.
Like you're putting on your cowboy hat, watching Full Send and packing your lips full of Zyn.
Zyn is hotter than ever.
It's hotter than ever, but they're in the crosshairs.
They're too hot.
Too hot.
And by the way, it's owned by Philip Morris, who just never goes away.
Right, but that makes me feel like this is all for show and nothing will happen. Zyn will be bigger than ever in a year.
That it's all for show because it's Philip Morris.
So here's what I think. This is my honest take, and I could be kind of wrong, but I don't think I'm super wrong. Is like Zyn became really, really, really popular. Like there's even some, I don't know if they did this or not, but like there is so many really big podcasts where they talk about putting a Zyn in, but it's not an ad, supposedly. And like even Rogan has talked about it multiple times. Then once again, back to the culture wars, the Full Send kids made a video because Tucker Carlson nonstop talks about Zyn. That's all he talks about. And
does he use it?
Yeah, constantly. And the Full Send kids got him the quote unquote world's biggest Zyn container. They flew it to him on a helicopter. It was like 10 feet by 10 feet. And they made this video that went viral of like, fucking Zyns and Tucker and whatever. And like, I think that was like one step too far. And now the government is taking
like,
a
all
look.
right, we know you guys are spending money.
Yeah, these are MAGA pouches and we're not fucking about it. And we're just going to shit on your guys' parade. But I don't think anything's going to happen. But I mean, they've already banned flavors in California.
Yeah.
So we don't have flavors. Everywhere else does, or a lot of other places. But they're on this one heavy.
You ain't getting rid of nicotine, let me tell you that.
No, you're not. And I will say,
if you're going to get rid of nicotine and you're talking about Wegovy,
right,
you better get rid of TikTok first.
And look, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Once again, just my opinion. Nicotine, not cigarettes or vapes. Those are terrible. Nicotine, I'm not saying it's good for a 14-year-old to be sucking down Zyns, but nicotine in and of itself is nowhere near as bad as what you get in your Big Mac and your everything that's it's not
bold
even
statement.
Not even close.
Hot take.
It is much more similar to caffeine.
Really?
Yes, and there is studies that it could. This isn't for sure yet. It could actually have a very strong protection mechanism against like dementia and things like that. Like it's not a.
So people who are on Zyn are geniuses.
Some may say. Look, I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying if you have the choice of taking it or not, but it is a nootropic.
Are you getting paid by Zyn and we're not eating on this?
I'm telling you. There's a.
If Drama drives out of here in a Ferrari, I'm like, fuck,
right.
I didn't get the Zyn money.
Right, I got some of that Full Send money. I'm telling you, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not saying kids should be using it. I'm not saying anyone should be addicted to it. It's not going to be addicted to anything. But nicotine in and of itself is very different than smoking or vaping. And so all I'm saying is to be looking at this. Now we've gone too far. Smoking, vaping, definitely. Let's get rid of it for kids. Get rid of flavors. Totally agree. But now you're going too far where like you're not looking at the real
data.
Yeah, you're not like everyone's dying of fucking heart disease and I guess you could say opioids and all these things from our food and our pharmaceuticals and our whatever. It's not Zyn. It's just not.
Yeah.
And if we had everything else on the list cleared, definitely. Yeah. Let's get rid of it.
But we're not there yet.
We're not there. You might as well be going after caffeine.
Wow, hot take.
That's my take.
It.
That's my take. I'm sure some people will be like, fuck yeah, Zyn for the win with drama. I've looked at it pretty heavy and like it's not saying it's good for you, but it's not as bad as
Philip Morris
McDonald's.
stock is what I should be buying.
Yeah, Wegovy and Philip Morris. Easy bet. You're Warren Buffett. Buy and hold. Yeah, that's once again, my only complaint is it's getting a lot of press and it's just not, it shouldn't be on the list.
Yeah.
We are making people fat, giving them heart disease and killing them. Lifespan is going down.
Yes.
It's not Zen. It's
That's
not.
fair. I like it.
So back off.
All right.
Out of my cold, dead hands. And for the record, I don't.
You don't Zen?
I don't use Zen, no, but.
Is that because your mom listens? You just want to.
No, I mean, she knows that I used to smoke. It's, to be honest with you, I love a good nicotine hit still after all these years.
Like a Zen or a.
Yeah, like I have these little, sometimes I have these like nicotine like mints that like give you a little, sometimes before I do a podcast or something, I'll throw one in. But Zen, I just don't like. It's just, I don't like having like a pouch in my lip, like I'm dipping or something.
Yeah.
It's just not
It's a
for
little
me.
crass.
It's just a little crass, but for the kids and Tucker,
Go for it.
pack it up.
I think the OpenAI thing is important to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know if you played around with it yet.
I have not, but I just watched all the videos.
I saw all the samples. OpenAI teased over the week this thing called Sora, which is a text to video AI model. So basically, you can write what you want the video to be, and it makes up to 60-second videos.
And wildly detailed. Like just meaning like I saw like a couple walking down like a Tokyo street and it's just like traffic and snow and I mean, I don't understand. I know nothing about computing, but like I know what it looks like when you're trying to render a fucking Lightroom file.
Yeah.
That takes forever with something that you actually have. I can't imagine how they're going to compute all of this stuff.
Is it basically they've already created all these images?
No one knows.
It's secret, huh?
Yeah. Some people think they've generated things in like Unreal Engine, which is you can generate like video game graphics and things like that. Hyper realistic. Some people, no one really knows. I don't think. Not in my circles.
It's like a hamster wheel, and they just got people in the back. This guy wants a video.
Hurry, film it.
Rajiv, hurry up.
Yeah. They just have 5,000 Joshes all over the world. Get out there. He wants a man with the snow.
You got 30 seconds.
Go. 2 golden retrievers playing in the snow. Where's Ted in Antarctica? Yeah, I don't know. But I do have also a hot take on this. Like,
useless.
The internet went so nuts. I
use OpenAI for 2 things. I use it when I'm really bored.
Yeah. Or a Google
to
replacement.
create images.
Yeah.
For fun.
Yeah.
Like graphics and just fun shit.
Yeah.
I use it. I do like it for the idea of analyzing data. I've put blood test results, a few contracts, like leases.
We upload a PDF.
Literally.
Yeah.
And be like, am I getting ripped off?
Right. Yeah. And it's good.
It's interesting. It calls out things you should look out for.
Right.
It doesn't give you like every little detail, but like even my blood test results, I was like, am I healthy?
Yeah.
And it just said, all the traditional things we look for, boxes are checked, blah, blah, blah. Here's one reading that you should probably go to a doctor.
Was that like a Quest Diagnostics PDF?
Yes.
Like what? Wow.
I literally copied and pasted my Quest Diagnostics results. It was like 20 pages.
Wow.
Because I got 20 vials of blood.
Yeah.
And I put the whole fucking thing in it. Copy paste.
Cool. That's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
But who in your life's job did that steal?
Technically my doctor, but I still went to my doctor.
You still have to go.
I just wanted it to know before I went to my doctor.
Right. Yeah. And look, I don't want to be the guy.
I don't believe the job stealing has happened yet.
And maybe in a small way it has. Like, I definitely don't want to be the guy on record saying that like the internet is nothing. But like, I just don't think, I think the way that people freak out and all of the internet was talking about this Sora thing and like, well, game has changed. Fuck, goodbye, Hollywood. Fuck off. It's over now. Like, I just don't like, look, if you would have told me 20 years ago that we would all have an iPhone in our pocket and all the stats of what it can do, I'd be like, oh, so everyone's a super genius and owns their own business and fucking whatever. Instead, we're like making memes of Zuckerberg not grabbing a t-shirt and be like, this is what it's like when you're trying to help your friend move. You know, like that's what we do with these.
We're not,
I'm not totally buying it.
Give us 2 lemons, we're smashing it on our face.
Yeah.
We're not making lemonade.
Yes, we're making a viral video of pouring lemon juice in our eyes. Look at me.
Yeah.
I'm crazy.
We're not, I agree. Anyone who says Hollywood is over, do you understand? It was funny. I was listening to a podcast about OpenAI, and I drove like on my street. I was going for a walk on my street every day because of like a landmark in Hollywood.
Yeah,
there are TMZ buses every day.
Yeah.
I was like, do people believe that in 25 years from now that there will be no celebrities, no stars, no any of this?
Yeah, no chance.
There's no chance. Taylor Swift is bigger than OpenAI.
But she's also, controversial opinion, I know you don't agree, she's bigger than Michael Jackson.
Yes, so...
Today, when everyone's a celebrity.
Okay,
there's still room for the mega celebrity.
Yes, I don't agree with that. But,
I know.
But the point is...
But you would say, second or third biggest. My point still stands.
Yeah, your point is that she's huge in the era where we thought that's not possible.
Yeah.
And I think given I think all the OpenAI things that are happening, I think they're all enablement tools to make the process more efficient. It's
the iPhone.
Yes.
And it's huge.
It's huge.
And it's big news.
It's trillions of dollars.
But it's just not, it's not goodbye Hollywood, I don't think. Or goodbye, like it's not even, I don't care about Hollywood. It's like goodbye all fucking jobs making fucking commercials.
Yeah.
Like I'm not buying it.
Yeah.
I think it's huge. I think that team should be applauded wildly.
If you think about the internet.
Yeah.
And the jobs that it totally kind of killed.
Yeah.
It's not that many.
No, because also 5, 7, 6 years ago, we would have said that by now retail's dead.
Yeah.
Better than ever. Literally. Peak numbers. It's just not, I don't know. There's not a lot of things that just demolish. There's a slow, like, yes, I'm sure in 10 years, maybe you know what had killed the internet? The yellow pages. Right.
The phone book.
Right. Good.
Yeah.
Great. You know what this will probably kill is like 500 feet in the background, the crowd on fucking Gladiator will be AI. But the first row of crowd will be people.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I don't know. Or it'll kill like, instead of going to the doctor and waiting for 3 hours, you can send them your AI breakdown of your blood test. They can send you back, but you still need the doctor. I just don't, I don't see this like demolishing effect. Now, to the OpenAI team, fucking insane. And knowing what they were dealing with, like the Hunger Games inside of that company, and you're still pumping out Sora.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on there? That's amazing. But I don't know. I think ever since NFTs, whenever the internet freaks out about something, I just get annoyed. And I'm like,
I agree. I don't freak out over anything from anything anymore because it's just people want to believe and are overreactive over everything. Yeah. I think I believe all the impact AI is having. It's just not happened yet.
Yeah, and me personally, I don't understand how AI hasn't. Maybe someone could really explain this to me well, and I would shut up. But like, to me, AI has been a slow progression. Like algorithms and all of those things are AI related. Yeah. Like I know maybe LLMs, maybe no one released one of those until ChatGPT. But like, I don't know how much of like movies are already computer generated.
A lot.
I'm sure it's different. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
So AI is fraud.
It's just hype bullshit. We
Yeah.
know how people are with
Yeah.
hype. And it's just
Remember
like,
when people were talking about NFTs? It is going to change
Yes.
history
like, do you not realize the ability to have your images on the blockchain
forever.
will forever? Like, how's your Bored Ape doing, dude?
Yeah. Bored.
Yeah, it's real bored. You haven't looked at it in a while. Fuck. I don't know. I think that we love hype. I also think with internet culture, like it becomes like you were cool on Friday if you were posting about Sora.
Yeah.
That was getting a lot of engagement. And now everyone wants engagement. So
Yeah.
you post about the popular thing, you get a hot tweet.
Get Zuck meme.
All right, you get a hot Zuck meme. But you realize we got our iPhones and we're making memes
dumb as
about
ever.
what's on TV. You know, like we don't fucking, you could
Yeah.
rule the world. Didn't they
The
like
world
fly?
is in our hands and we are jerking off to it.
Right, literally.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, wasn't the Apollo mission with like less computer power than this fucking thing?
The only impact iPhone had is that it increased masturbation globally.
Masturbation's way up,
Yes.
and like political commentary.
Yes. Everyone has comments.
Everyone's fucking Tucker Carlson.
Everyone's jerking off and being Tucker Carlson.
Literally. Quick jerk off, comment on Trump. Jerk, Biden. Jerk, fucking Zelensky. God. Anyway, that's just, I think that at the end of the day, we're still people. And you can give us all the tools, and some people are going to benefit wildly, but most people are going to be.
You give people 2 lemons.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
You're like, what can I throw these at? That's humans. Do we want to talk about movies in New York?
Yeah, we can end on the movies.
Okay.
So interesting. Movie business is off to a slow start in 2024.
So you didn't even need Sora. Hollywood's going to kill itself. Fuck.
Down 15% is what the early numbers are saying. President's Day films were down.
Man.
I don't necessarily want. I'm not a movie person. I've been to a movie in fucking ever.
Yeah.
I think I went to a movie with my kids. That was the last movie.
They all suck.
And then I was at the bar. I didn't even watch the fucking movie.
Did I pick?
So I'm not a movie person. I think going to the movies itself,
You don't
it's
even
not
like
a great
that.
experience.
Right.
I love movies though.
Were you a movie person like,
As a child?
no, like in your 20s?
No.
Okay.
Soon as a child, going to the movies was heaven for me.
Yeah.
Like, I vividly remember standing in line for Back to the Future 2, Back to the Future 3, those movies, and then like later as an adult seeing Training Day, like, you know, just like very like vivid memories of movies as a part of my life.
Yeah.
But then when I got into my 20s and I had a car and I knew I could drink, I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to fucking movies.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, especially because you live in LA, you could do anything you want. It's like,
Right.
World is your oyster.
Right.
But the idea of watching a movie, I love so much. I'm not a believer that movies will ever die, television show. I love the content.
Yeah.
But the movie business is very much reliant on hits.
Right.
Right. And is there a movie globally? Like, I asked my friends the other day, I was driving home the other day and my wife was driving, and I texted my friends. I'm like, I didn't want to ask my wife because I didn't sound stupid. I'm like, has the Oscars happened yet? And they're like, no, you idiot. It hasn't happened. It happens in March.
I would have thought it just happened.
It was the Golden Globes. And
I'm not kidding. You could tell me that the Golden Globes and the Oscars are the same thing.
Yes.
And you'd say, if you told me, no, they win Oscars at the Golden Globes, I'd be like, oh, yeah.
I don't think the movies that are out at the moment in the last 6 months are relevant. And so probably the movie business is
Barbie.
suffering.
It's just Barbie. But they literally just woked the whole thing to death.
Yeah. It was interesting because
Like, comedy
I
is
don't want to.
dead.
Yeah,
The Hangover.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a hot take?
I mean, there's a lot of women in my life that thought Barbie was stupid.
Sure. That's not bad. That's totally fine.
They watched it and they were like, this is dumb.
But do you realize comedy is dead? There is no comedies.
No.
I mean, if there are, that's
not the comedy that we want.
But like The Hangover, like super bad.
Paging doctor.
I know, God, but like, and then I even feel like all the other movies, like you have to have like
It's a legacy film. It's a legacy film that's being remade. It's your Top Gun. It's your Spider-Man. It's your whatever.
Because it's safe. Everyone's playing so safe.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think that it's probably already incredibly hard to make a hit movie. But I think that when you put on top of it the like cancel, like you have to take out everything that could get you canceled, including who the staff is on the movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's no chance.
Yeah.
And it has killed movies, I think.
I think the idea. I'm actually watching something. I just started watching it. This last week I stayed home every single night, so I got to watch TV.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned it. Griselda Blanco.
Yeah.
Netflix.
I gotta try that.
Incredible.
Have you tried Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
I tried it.
I just started it. I heard it was good.
I watched 10 minutes and I turned it off.
Yeah, too much violence.
I don't know. It was boring.
I get
The
it.
first 10 minutes.
You're right. I'm in the boring part.
Yeah.
But a woman gets like shot in the face in like the first 2 seconds. I thought maybe that got you. You don't like violence.
Not enough violence then.
Yeah.
I need more violence.
I heard it's good.
Here's the thing is my Mr. and Mrs. Smith was Angelina Jolie.
Right. I agree.
That's
Also, stop remaking. Just call it something else.
yeah.
Like I didn't even watch it for so long because I thought it was a TV show version of the movie.
Yeah.
But did I cut you off? Were you saying something about, you said Griselda?
So I said Griselda, and then I actually ended up watching last night the first episode of a show called The New Look on Apple TV. And it's about Christian Dior post World War II. Fucking incredible.
Like a documentary or it's a scripted?
No, it's like a scripted.
Wow.
It is like, so I know how really high quality content is still being made.
Yeah.
It's just that like what they put in the movie theaters is what they believe to be mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't think is accurate.
I also just want a moment. Like I can't imagine going to see Training Day in a theater.
Your Training Day, I watched at Universal City Walk.
Yeah.
I vividly remember it. We all went Friday night. It was like a fucking rap concert.
That's why they say it's a movie.
Yeah, it was a movie.
They need to stop saying that.
Yeah.
I don't know what the replacement. It's a Netflix special.
It was nuts. The theater was crazy. People were screaming, yelling.
Yeah.
It was like the best night. It was insane.
But that's, see, like, I'm not even saying the Dior show or any of these things might not be really good, but like, I want the moment.
The problem
I want
with
to watch the
moment
trailer
is
and be like, that looks so good.
We're all too polarized.
Yeah.
You and I cannot agree on a moment.
But here's what I want to say. I don't think the majority of the country is actually that polarized. I think if you just put out a good fucking movie that had no like wokey stuff,
Yeah.
I just think like the Barbie numbers were legit numbers for any time.
Yeah.
They weren't like good for this year.
Yeah.
Like people want.
But Barbie is like the most iconic toy.
I know.
It's if it wasn't called Barbie, no one would have watched it.
I'm just saying, I think the audience is still there. I think like the Super Bowl or the football is so big. Like there's an audience. I'm not saying it's the same as a movie, but like where the NBA is struggling in comparison. Like
Yeah.
I don't think people are fucking dumb and they want moments and they want all that shit out of it. And they just want to go see an incredible movie. And those aren't really there.
What's interesting is like, if you think about childhood in terms of content,
Yeah.
obviously I'm a boy, so I'm going to be biased towards the content. But like, I have vivid memories of movies like The Sandlot.
Yeah.
All of these baseball movies I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
None of those movies are being made today. Like these sports kids movies.
No,
Remember
because-
the Titans.
Right.
Or fucking Mr. Baseball or whatever, Babe Ruth, right?
Yeah.
Like those sports movies, those family kids sports movies. Because if I'm guessing, you're in Hollywood and you're like the new person in charge, like, oh, I don't really play sports. Sports are,
Yeah.
is not cool
But
anymore.
also like too many dudes.
Yeah.
We need a strong lead female then that's the team manager that really showed everyone she was a strong female.
Yeah.
Like, and if you put that into a we've worked with creative,
Yeah.
You and I would say are creative adjacent. Like we're not the creative department,
No.
but we've worked with them for a long time. And if you tell a bunch of creatives, hey, make a hit movie. And by the way, there has to be a really strong female lead that kind of really lets people see how strong females are. You just can't like work from that place.
No.
There's going to be movies about that. They're going to do really well if it's organic.
Yeah.
There's going to be movies that aren't about that.
Yeah.
But I just don't think you can give that many limitations.
Like there's no Mighty Ducks, how important that was for my childhood.
Right. Too many dudes.
It was just a bunch of idiot kids in like Minnesota playing fucking hockey.
Right. But
I
now
didn't
you
play
need
hockey. I didn't, any of those things. But like that movie was very important. And like you look at like, you don't get kids movies like that anymore.
And all I'm saying is I don't think movies are dead, or like going to the movies is a thing of the past. Like the numbers are there. Like people will go
if it's the right thing.
Right.
I think there's an incredible opportunity to like just do regular shit.
I agree.
I don't know why Hollywood just won't do regular shit.
I think it must be. I don't know how any of this stuff works with all this like diversity stuff, but I think it's probably so interwoven into
diversity.
Yeah, that like you just can't, like you're too busy trying to check all of these boxes and then make a movie, as opposed to make a great movie. And over time, hopefully your studio over 5 years checked a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Not every movie. I just don't think you can create from that place.
No, you cannot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're about to enter an era where fucking nothing matters. Everyone's wearing gold Trump sneakers and fucking
whatever.
Yeah.
Incredible.
You want to do New York or no?
No, we're good.
Okay, we did it.
We gave you an extra long episode.
How long we go?
Hour and a half right now.
Fuck
Hour and a half? Oh yeah, we're good.
Me and D can talk
We're good.
forever.
So head over to our YouTube, comment on the episode. We love comments.
Are we getting more comments?
We got a lot of comments that were just comment last week. So
yeah, we don't.
you
if
son
you
of a
commented,
bitches.
it's appreciated, but
No, it's not.
It's not appreciated.
You're fucking idiots. Don't do that.
I want a thoughtful comment.
Yeah, just
Or write the word thoughtful comment.
at least write thoughtful. Then we'll know you were thoughtful.
Don't write comment, write thoughtful.
Yeah. Okay, well, go to our YouTube group chat news. Leave comments because we like to hear your guys' feedback. I'm guessing too, like, not that we'll be very, like, trust me, we won't go too political heavy, but people tend to get a little bit more fired up when we talk about those topics. So our comments will probably ramp up a little.
Yeah, those are always good for comments.
You fucking idiots.
I'm traveling again this week.
Okay.
So we'll be back next Sunday. Anand's traveling.
Yeah, well, I'm here. I'm going to come in and do a 30-minute monologue.
You should do it on Zin.
Yeah. I should just pack my cheeks full of Zin and do a fucking Zin. Yeah.
I think it'll fucking crush if we did that.
they gotta cut the check first.
What?
They gotta cut the check first
Yeah,
before we do
cut
that.
it. Check.
I heard they're secretly cutting checks. I don't know if it's true.
What up, Zin? I'll start zinning. According to drama, it's like the healthiest thing on earth.
I didn't say that. Don't. That's what people are going to think. All I'm saying is this. Next time you go to like a, big meeting, pop a Zin in your mouth. See how
It's like
you
a
feel.
caffeine.
Yeah, it's a little pick me up.
Where do you buy Zin?
Gas
Anywhere?
station. Yeah. Or smoke shops or liquor stores. Or, yeah. But they killed all of the flavors here. Like I was golfing today with a kid who was just zinning back to back to back. And like he had like friends bring him from like another state, like flavored. Like I guess maybe there's a certain milligram we don't have. Maybe 6 milligrams or something. You just
The
stuff
black
them.
market.
Yeah. All right. That's it. Everyone have a great week. Thank you for listening. See you later.